3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, it's me, RDV. I'm here with Zach. Sorry we're a little late. I had to use the little Venkman's room. Sorry about that. We just got done with the stream before this. And I hope you check out that too, the Thursday night retrospective. We'll be joined shortly by none other than the Skip Master, the Skipperoo. The master of the Skipperoonie. Skip and touch. But until then, we'll just talk about the books that we got. And we'll just count down. Because might as well.
You have any back issues this week, or is it all new books?
I do have some back issues, but I want to get to the best part, Then the back issue can get 10, It's for the people.
I hear you.
Back issues for the people who stick around, Everybody's here for the new books.
That's true. That is very true.
It's going to be interesting because I picked up books this week. Then I picked up the third issue of a book. And I dropped it. I didn't buy the second issue this week because I wasn't sure. I think I forgot about it too.
Curious now. I've got something way outside my normal wheelhouse of books. Something brand new to me that I thought, why not give it a try, and ended up really loving it.
All right. And how dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah. Sorry, Greta. All right. So that being said, I'm gonna make myself a little bigger. And go. Oh,
do that so my face isn't distracting from the comic books.
Alrighty. We'll start off with my now. For those who don't know what we do here, usually we on Tuesday nights we basically take 5 books from our pull list that we think are gonna be the best of the week. And right now I'm just counting on the books that I got. So when we get to my top 5, I'll let you know as the best books of the week. Starting off.
Oh.
All right, yeah.
You got burned.
What will we do without you? Oh, that's right. We'll have Breen read your parts.
Oh.
Because he's a beautiful woman.
He went there.
Speaking of going there, with having gone.
I had to come on camera just for that.
Here he is, the Skip Master. The Skipper, master of the Skipperoni. That's what he is.
Just the Skipper. Just
what's up, Skip?
The Skipper. What's up, Skip and Tosh?
He's speechless. He doesn't have his headphones on either. Look at that. He's running away.
Be nice to my boy Skip.
I am nice to him.
Mm-hmm. Like you're nice to me, right?
More nice to him than I am to you.
Yeah. That's my point.
He's from California. He's a hardened survivor over there.
I live in a place that gets hit by hurricanes every other month.
The main streets of California. That's where he's from.
I like that shirt though.
See, he knows karate too.
There you go, Mr. Miyagi. Wax on.
All right, so I'm gonna start up with my least favorite book. Not that it's bad.
I know what it is.
But it has its faults. Do you know?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not gonna bet on it this time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
You're not gonna get me again. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Scott Snyder book, isn't it?
Scott Snyder, as our friend Skip and Tosh will say. Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder, doing this book, but a girl finds out that she's pretty much at this point an angel of some sort, and she basically takes up what her father was doing, or her stepfather, and kills demons, and teams up with his former partner, who is a demon himself. So it's kind of like the VPD, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
You get a big guy in there, and he's pretty much like they work together. Let me see if I can show him. Yeah, right there.
Oh wow, she kind of looks like Alita Battle Angel a little bit.
A little bit. So I mean, and remember, it's Greg Capullo art on here, and so if you're a fan of Scott Snyder and drawing or writing Batman, he had Greg Capullo doing the art on it. And I mean, fan of the first stuff, Court of Owls, Zero Year and stuff like that. The art is really cool in this. So, Yeah, I mean it's still a good series, but I mean I've already read this before. I read it again. I liked it more the first time. The second time, not so much. This was originally a digital first, exclusive on for Comixology. You're like, what's Comixology in the next 5 years, probably, because that's going away by fast. If you're an Android user, screw Comixology, because you cannot buy books anymore. I'll done with that.
If you're an Apple user, screw Comixology because they screwed up the app.
That too. It sucks no matter what version you're using. So, not to say that the only thing that's got that Marvel and DC app has going over it is the fact that you actually is a better reading app. Other than that, though, it's missing books too. Both of them are.
Yeah.
That being said, talk about hidden and missing.
There it is.
The Jeremy Adams part was okay. The very first part with hey, Kal-El, son, Jonathan, and Nightwing kind of bonding each other, talking about how, well, basically, Nightwing saying, "Hey, my dad's died before, so is your dad today? So no one's really gone until they're gone." Because Jonathan is actually written better than this. I'll give Williamson that. He's written better. He basically shows. If you read this book, the very first issue is Williamson writing Jonathan how he should have been written, and not as a idiot activist that Tom Taylor does. Basically, you got different writers. You got Jurgens in here too. You got Adam Jones, and then you got I think Chuck Brown.
Chuck Brown, yes,
yeah.
I think he wrote I think he was one of the writers on the Aquaman.
Probably the Aquaman story, but
yeah,
the story with Wally and basically Ace, as they're calling him now. It was actually, the art was kind of trippy, but it was actually good though.
Yeah, the art was different. It was different from the normal Flash run, but it still worked.
You get to learn a little more basically that Hal Jordan was away because Justice League's dead at this point. Hal's coming back. He's like wondering where the Justice League are, and so you're gonna see Hal basically pretty much probably leading the Justice League. Probably, I'm assuming.
Give my boy, it's about darn time. Give Hal Jordan his due.
Nocturna is innocent with Stephanie Brown. They both have a little exchange, and they come to terms because they both realize that basically, even though the Dark Knight is gone, well, it's now empty now. It's an empty void.
Basically, it's a void, yeah.
Nocturna said it's not fun anymore because there's no Batman. So she pretty much
oh, never mind. I'll have my thoughts later on.
Yeah, later on, bro.
Wow.
But like I said, the art in this is still good though. Look at the art for this.
Which one? Yeah. Well. Yeah. No, that's good. I like it. I don't think that was the best.
No, but I mean, like, this wasn't like they're giving you crappy stuff in the story, and then the art sucks too. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Hal. Look at how they drew Hal Jordan this.
See that? I think that had some of the coolest art. Yeah.
And even when Jackson's hides in here too, it's like it's not overly woke. He's saying like, "I'm Aquaman." He's like, "No, I'm one of the two Aquaman, characters and all." He's like, he didn't want the role. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, he remember. Whatever you think about Jackson Hyde, I'll just say this: it's not what you think. So, like I said, but pretty much this whole entire story all the way through was kind of underwhelming. There really was nothing. It's like it's a prelude. There should have been, instead of being 1, it should have been 0. And it is Road to Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens, even towards the end. Their big thing is like, we're gonna have what's the name? Puts a team together.
Firefly. Oh yeah. Now, again, I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that.
I was just like, I'm like, really? All right, so a book that was better than that and shocking. Issue 3 of Strange.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
This is Jen McKay writing this, and he basically she's looking for answers and stuff, and she basically goes after the Rose because apparently in New York there's like a little enchanted little world in all Hell's Kitchen stuff where nobody knows it's there because it's where all these mutants are not mutants, but the trolls, elves, and like goblins live together, and it's open free market. They're not controlled by anybody. And there's this group of basically like I forget what they're called. They're like the cartel of or something like that.
The Magia?
The blasphemy cartel. That's what their name.
Oh, okay.
And they use They use magic. So and they basically want control of everything. Now this is dumb. They give currently if you look now these look like assault machine guns, not assault guns. Like almost in the next panel you see it, they're almost like M16s. But
I saw that panel, yeah, because there was somebody on Twitter was talking about that panel because like they look like they're M16s, but don't they call them ARs?
they basically they call them assault rifles.
Okay, well yeah, AR, assault rifle.
Well, no, they call them AR-15s. Basically, AR-15s.
Yeah.
The problem with AR-15s, they're small caliber, and they're not fully automatic.
They're not fully automatic though. Yeah.
So when they show this, like it's like, oh, you shot at me and stuff. It's like they're not gonna go. They're like as fast as you can pull the trigger, and these are clips. They're not like drums on there. Yeah, it was just kind of dumb because I was looking and I was like, there's no way, an AR-15 can do a lot of damage, but overall. She put the Rose in his place and basically just showed us, proves us again why the Rose is just basically a useless character. I don't know why it was even brought. I think he died. That's what he did. But overall, the whole story arc so far is that she basically wants to bring back Stephen Strange. And Wong's like, you can't really do that. It's like, well, she's like, well, frick, and I am the. Not only I'm the master of, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme, of this plane, but I'm also the master of the dark arts, pretty much, because she's not human. Remember, she's a fault line.
She's from the dark dimension, isn't she?
She's like I'm the freaking niece of Dormammu and my mother.
She's related to Dormammu.
So she basically wants to bring back the only one thing she's been denied, and that's love. And she's grown up. Everybody has. My mom's greedy, and my uncle's all about chaos and all that crap. He's like, but I just want love, and my love was taken away from that was Stephen Strange. So she's doing whatever she can to bring him back, but she's also being trapped, or basically not trapped, but she's annoyed by all these little peon guys. Like they're basically nobodies. There's nobody number 1, nobody number 5. They're their names. And you get to see her. Yeah, you see how she does this. She gets so pissed off. She just goes and turns them on the stone. Cool, because they're like, oh, our magic bullets are working. Like, yeah, they're only meant for like earth magic. So, like I said, it was interesting to see more and stuff. And then you get to see she's learning more about her and Wong. Look, it's not a Rickle and Smokey thing, but they're making soup. Like I said, it's interesting because I really don't. We don't talk about Franklin.
Oh no, that's true though. The West Coast Avengers.
Yeah,
where they go back in time. I think that's the same thing he's referring to. Eric witnessed it.
But one of the reasons I was kind of happy I picked this up because the next issue.
Hey, Moon Knight, that guy.
Moon Knight versus Clea Strange. So
didn't he just have a show?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of for Jim McKay. He usually does pretty good, but this was kind of average, and I was really annoyed by the whole gun thing. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Trying to
I wonder if that was an artist thing, or if Jed McKay specifically wanted that played out that way.
I don't know.
Because sometimes, like sometimes the artist will do something, and like there was an artist on X-Men Gold that
they called them. They were calling them AR-15s, I believe, in the book.
Oh, were they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just gotta say that is just dumb. I mean, now it just shows that if you don't know anything about guns, it shows real well that you don't know anything about guns, and it makes them look like idiots. But that's what current Marvel is, group of idiots. Now, my next book is a little bit better than the last one. I still wasn't sure if I was going to get the next issue, but I reread the last issue, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it another shot. So, Zach, turn your attention away. This might be a little bit too offensive for you.
Don't be rude. My shop didn't have that cover.
That's because you didn't want the cover.
D-
Scorch.
Reach through my screen, and I'm gonna punch your lights out.
This is an interesting series because I'm like reading Spawn. I'm like, oh, wait, and I'm like, and this book reminds you. Oh, remember we're Image. We get the blood.
Yeah.
And then we also get Haunt as well. And like I said, this is a little bit more, I guess. I want to say, I'm not saying like it's more sophisticated, like as far as they write. It's more highly intellectual book story, more deeper than you would get with basically Marvel and DC right now. But yeah, and like I said, Spawn. I've learned this basically. I've only learned what's about Spawn. It's just basically Spawn's killing giant monster things, and that's what this series is.
What else do you need?
I know. That's what I'm just saying. It's like, wow. And then we get this a little shot here, and they show them with their costume, without the costumes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Black Widow's on here.
Kinda. A little bit.
It's something Justice or Jessica Priest. That's her name is. She's Spawn. But I learned she's the second She's Spawn. There was one before that with an afro. A Monica Rambeau version.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. I was looking it up. And also what I learned from this is that Spawn is just written as a dick. Every single freaking time I think like Ish, like, oh, maybe he'll be written better. For whatever reason, he's just paranoid, angry, and pissed off, And he doesn't trust this one guy in here, so he's like, he basically throws him into like the limbo. He's like, welcome to limbo, between, basically like, purgatory. This is your new prison. He's like, what the fuck? Because, and as Spawn's been saying, there's a traitor on your team. This is a guy basically devoted his life to basically, I guess, killing Spawns, or it was tricked into it by him and his sister, who were basically their orphans.
Mm-hmm.
Were experimented on. This is Soul Crusher.
Yeah.
And it is just and kind of weird how they're going about this. And I'm just sick and tired of Spawn being a dick. I mean, Tom McFarlane, I know you're not writing this, but can we just say Spawn is not just angry, brooding Batman who doesn't give a shit about people. It's pretty much what he is. It's now, correct me, for those who read the original series, was he nicer or was he always this much of a total dick? All right, LK, if you're watching, this next one's for you. She's not the main. No, she's not the main character. It's Black Knight versus the Zodiac, who basically is a former NRA terrorist when he was younger. Builds himself a power suit, and he's gone against the now. In this, we have it starts off showing his story and stuff, how his past and everything, how he's basically trying to change his life over. He even goes to a bar, and he's approached by this woman who has basically. She's the one on the cover. She's the one that has the mind control powers, and we find out that this guy Zodiac, his brother, was part of a botched bank robbery with this woman. He was basically brought into custody. He's being transported back to New York. The Black Knight, who's a lawyer by day and a vigilante by night, kind of like Daredevil. But she's not blind. And this woman. And I look at this cover, like I'm like, this is a J. Scott Campbell. Like every time I see this is something that Scott Campbell would do, or Gen 13, And so this is the suit he has. This is in your brother. He's being basically brainwashed to go help break his brother out of prison. The Black Knight gets involved. A lot of cheesecake, a lot of fighting, a lot of angry women. 72. I think. Yeah, this is 72 pages. So it was actually a pretty good story. His brother basically thinks he's in love with this woman. He's manipulated. Gets this gem they stole from the museum. turns into a giant scorpion monster. And
Looks better than Dwayne Johnson.
anything's better than that, but we don't talk about that movie. Like I said, it actually was pretty good. Compared to the other book I read last week was Jasmine. So, yeah, like I said, for what was the price on this? This is $6, $5.99. And yeah, it was actually a pretty good, decent story. First being 72 pages or 32 pages. Sorry, 32. I'm so used to the 72 pages. You know, sometimes I feel that way when they slow through them. Almost done. Let's see here. We're at the top 5 now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're at the top 5. Number 5. X-Men 92. This is the alternative cover with the giant man thing. It's supposed to be Krakoa Island.
Krakoa.
I enjoyed this. I actually, I obviously it's on my top 5, but I mean, overall, there's no Moira McTaggart in here. Kitty Pryde is the Moira, pretty much.
No, not
Kitty. No, not Kitty Pryde. Jubilee. Sorry, Jubilee. She's died multiple times. Every time the freaking Sentinels kill her, and she's just like, I'm just done. I'm down to 1 life. So she finally this time told Professor Xavier and Magneto how everything she's trying to solve this problem. She's been hiding in this little tomb crypted away, and Wolverine's just getting sick and tired of everything's going on. He just doesn't want to play nice. He's like, it's classic 90s Wolverine. He's like, fuck you, it's a saber tooth. It's like, I'm gonna beat your ass. You get near me. That's what I like. And towards the end here, he's standing outside of her little bunker she's been hiding in, a little safe house. And it looks like Wolverine's gonna find out that Jubilee's there. But holy crap, is it better than Hawk's Pock and all that other crap? No disrespect to Hickman, but these are evil X-Men. these are good X-Men. Number 4, Carnage. Number 3.
Ah, that spooky cover.
Cletus cast, and then I thought this was a throwback. No, this is Ram V writing this. David Mitchell was on the first issue with him, but this is Ram V writing solo by himself. There's the Cletus. Again, remember Cletus is dead after you read the whole Absolute Carnage and the whole thing where he's collecting the codex leading up to the King of Black. Cletus died, or so we thought. The symbiote has been acting on his own, trying to reach back out to Null, and basically carrying out what Cletus' planned before Cletus was killed. Now, the cop in here, we're getting Toxin. For those who know what Toxin is, he was a police officer who had another symbiote from the Life Foundation. He's infected with a symbiote in him, but he says, you can call me Cletus. Cletus is basically leading him, basically wants to help him stop the Carnage symbiotes. So it's actually kind of cool. A great continuation of that. It's not Donny Cates, but it's Ram V. And oh my gosh, if you were a fan of the Spot, don't read this book. The Spot goes against the Carnage symbiote. And just say it's not really that great for him going through it. And oh my gosh, it is just horrible what happened. I'll just show you. You've been warned. If you're a fan of the Spot, don't look.
Hoo-hoo.
Just rips them apart using his portals. Just tears them.
I remember when Sentry did that to Carnage in New Avengers.
But the thing is that Spot had to say, "You can't kill me." It's like I will return. I have the spotted dimension. Now, if he does come back, that is a cool power. He's like he can just basically, even though he's dead, chopped up like that. But overall, Ram V is doing a great job. Just the same he did on any of the other books he's been writing. He's I guess I haven't read Swamp Thing. Now I'm really excited to read Swamp Thing because I've only read Ram V writing Catwoman, and that was great. Reading him on this has been great too. So I'm gonna be going back and reading his Swamp Thing run. All right. I'll show how they did Carnage and Venom. Yeah, I know. Down to my top 3. Deadpool, Bad Blood. Deadpool being Deadpool, written by Rob Liefeld, drawn by Rob Liefeld. actually pretty good, and he's funny. And this came out apparently in 2018 or 2016 as a trade. They're breaking it up into individual issues, and you can see that when he wrote this, it has the Ryan Reynolds kind of humor in this a little bit.
Okay.
In a sense. Like I said, he's still kind of weird and stuff. The only thing that brought me down on this book is we got to advertise for this crap. I don't care about Spider-Man anymore. Get that offensive crap on my books. But yeah, and the jokes are fun in this. Him just making fun of Cable and stuff, going against Shatterstar and basically kicking Shatterstar's ass. Good book. Can you guess what my last two are? Zach?
No.
Skip my no.
Are they indies?
I don't even think I look at the Marvel and DC books when I pick my books anymore.
One's an indie and one's an actual one of the big two.
Oh, okay. So then one of them is definitely Firepower.
I think so. I think it's a safe bet.
Number 2.
Oh, that, yeah, okay.
Dynamite Never Dies.
Yeah.
The funny thing about this cover, and I hope we get in trouble again, because we actually got trouble. We got flagged last time for the thumbnail saying, "Oh, nudity." So he had to cut off the bottom part. I'm like, she's wearing a loincloth, you stupid idiots. There's no nudity in this whatsoever. Anyway,
it's showing.
it's also rated teen. It's a book that's rated teen. This involves portal hopping. Just Red Sonja going against basically the Death Queen in this. Evil Ernie's button, Smiley, is a sword. Every time he kills somebody, he gets more power. And it's just much more fun. This humor, slapstick humor here. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but I said if you haven't read this series, start with the original one, Dynamite. Then read Dynamite Lives, I believe it is. Now it's Dynamite Never Dies is volume 3.
There should be like a big omnibus collection with.
I hope they do actually. But no, we didn't get trolled. That was YouTube flagged it. So we had to change the thumbnail. We had to crop the bottom out. All right, my number 1 book this week.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Well, and for those, I mean, if you read the last issue, it's been a week now. Geoforce is the big bad villain.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that was shocking when I read that.
I was quaking with fear.
I actually thought that after thinking about it, I thought that was a really cool reveal because obviously there's all the stuff that takes place between Deathstroke and Terra. So
There's
this
one page here that made me. This is what I was like. You know what? I don't know if this will make it number 1, and then I get to this page.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I always forget how powerful Geoforce can be.
He can control dirt, just like remember he's the same powers as Terra.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome, though.
And it's like a giant sentinel made out of rock.
Yeah. It's a Titan.
And and the funny thing about this is that he says, like, Batman's like, let me kill, he killed Deathstroke. And sort of like, well, Batman's like, it's not too late to turn yourself in, you know, you were a hero. You don't have to go down this path. He's like, no. He's like, you guys forget that Leviathan, you know, I guess the past villain thing, destroyed Markovia, wiped it off the map. No one gave a crap. And who was behind Leviathan was apparently Talia. You know,
Leviathan. Yeah. Well, Talia was one of the ones. Is this the recent Leviathan? Book? Yeah, she was one of the masterminds behind it.
MK, no, he has control over rocks. So he assembled the rocks. You know, this is to form a giant monster, and he's inside the head part of it.
Yeah,
like
he's Terra, but
the male version, and did not sleep with Deathstroke.
Yeah,
and the funny thing, they break up. They say is like, how can you feel sorry for a man? What he did to my sister.
Yeah, that's why I thought he would actually be a cool.
That I was like,
villain.
well, he has a point,
He
Batman.
does
You
have a
should,
point.
you be signed with it. And Talia, and he says, how can you protect these people of all they've done? What justice is that? You speak of justice, it's like, he's like, you condone murderers. He's like, look at Gotham. It's like, I was like, damn, we're going that argument again.
Yep.
But like I said, the storyline to this is great. And just all of it.
How's the artwork?
The artwork is good in here. We get Robin and Batman.
Nice. Okay.
We get a little splash page. He's like, they make up together. He's like, it's a good job for Batman and Robin. Going to issue 15. So
I like how their suits actually kind of match now. I kind of like that.
I like the
yeah, like I said,
because I know they've worked it around to where Robin, like the bright red and yellow suit, like they've said it's like supposed to distract the bad guys from Batman. But I love it on teams when you have similar, like it's a uniform thing. It's like, hey, we're on the same team. So like I do like that. That's really cool.
And like I said,
tactically, it makes more sense to blend in into the night instead of like stand out. I like how they switched it, like the whole like he distracts people from Batman, but like really, do you want the kid to be the target?
Yeah, right. Are we aiming for the kid here? I mean
look at Markovia, just gone, destroyed.
Oh wow, yeah, that's.
And
cool.
He lost everything. Everyone in this country are dead. And he tried to stop him because they were going to side with Leviathan. Well, Leviathan protect us, and he said, no, you can't. And you just see him there, and he's just laying defeat. No wonder he's so pissed off. And anybody who supports him, he's just screw you. Yeah, he's just like anybody goes around him, he just throws them away. Like I said, and then at the end, Talia is gonna kill him. He's like, as you move a muscle, I'll kill you. It's like, and Robin says, like, dude, what are you doing? Grandfather was. He didn't. No, he may have killed grandfather, but grandfather was already. It was changing. He was changed over because he realized he wanted to. You're not honoring grandfather's last wish to turn over a new leaf. To pay for your sins. And just like it's Robin that talks down his mother, and she finally listens to reason. She's like, "You're right. That's just kind of dumb." She's like, "You're right. My father was a monster." I'm like, she needs to go to therapy. But yeah, that was my number one of the week. I only have a couple of back issues, real quickly, small ones.
Okay.
Well, this isn't really a back issue, but because I wanted the prestige format, I want to have 1 and 2, so it collects.
Oh, nice.
So
very cool, very cool.
So I wanted to get that. I've also been looking at some of the other older Batman stuff, so I found this Gotham Adventures.
Very nice. Ty Templeton.
Yep. And now this was kind of crazy because I saw this. I was like, really? It's a facsimile.
Oh, it's facsimile. Okay, because I was about to say
it would not be that bright if it was original.
Yeah, I was about to say that would not be.
But what's great about these facsimiles?
That's cool though. That's cool.
The ads in the back.
They keep the same ads. That's awesome.
They keep the same ads in here. There's no freaking new. Check out Spider-Man. No, it's everything in here. It's exactly the same as it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, for those of you that want to spend an arm and a leg, or just look forever and wait to read a story, you can pick up facsimiles right away and read them. Or you can get the trades. I finally have it. Number 1. So I have 1 through 3, the whole entire run.
Awesome.
I kept looking for that one for you, but it was not easy to find.
Oh no, I just happened to come across it, and I was just like, and even as I said, it includes the magazine stuff, the Marvel magazines. Werewolf by Night, 32 through 33. Marvel Spotlight, 28-29. Defenders, 47 through 50. Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, 22 through 23. Marvel 2-in-1, 52. Moon Knight, 1 through 4. Hulk Magazine, numbers 11 through 15. 17, 18, and 20, and Marvel Preview number 21. It's a freaking heavy book, man. Just trying to hold this thing.
Not to say, yeah, that's awesome.
A normal book. Yeah, it's 1975 through 1981. So I'm happy now. I can actually just sit and just read. I don't even have to go anywhere. So, but yeah, that's it. And then I got another cool thing.
Oh yeah, this toy.
Oh, grappler, yeah.
The Keaton one. So basically, it does that as a little thing that pops here, turns it into a gun,
Rad.
and he just go.
Now, if you can just get it to where it can grab your floppies for you
Yep.
from across the room,
That'd be awesome.
Awesome, right?
that'll be
So, yeah.
Aaron Green's next contraption for the
Bree's
books
next-
for the books that he doesn't have sitting right there next.
Now that was
to him.
$30, and I said, like, this is the serious grappling gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still like this. I was talking to Zach about it. I'd rather hold like this than try to hold like a little pistol grip. This might be easier to hold on to as they're going up. But can I scale villains with that, Vickman? Or no? Can I probably could, But why would I want to do that when I can just use the escape ladder? Anyway, so that's what I got here. Skip, how many books do you got tonight?
Let's see.
5 books?
Yeah, I just went with 6, and then, well, yeah, I got some back issues, but I didn't read it.
I'm assuming
8 total.
Zach, I'm assuming you have probably around that same amount.
I've got 5 new books, but then I've also got a good deal of back. I got my box from E's auction, so I got a good little stack of
All
back
right,
issues
so
here.
we'll see if Skip's here. Let Skip go first.
Yeah,
Sure. Thanks, y'all.
Skip before you.
sure.
Mhm.
Hey,
I
put
skipped
that
the line.
handsome man up there.
We're
I'll go back up there. You want me to? Okay. We don't.
That's
Sadly,
right.
we don't have.
He's right. We are twins. We do look the same. That's true.
equally handsome.
I don't have Green to put on. If you want a handsome guy on there, sorry, Green's not here.
Oh well, he makes
Wow.
us all look bad, so that's why he's in the chat and not on the show.
He is youthful.
That and also he barely buys any new comics,
he
dude.
doesn't look a day over 60.
Nope, not a
he
day.
he looks a few years over 60, but not a day. You're right.
Dang the dig. Hey, just remember which twin said that, Breen. It wasn't this one. I'm not even gonna go over Nice House on the Lake. It's not a bad comic, but it's good and I like the art. But it's issue number 9, and I don't even really feel like talking about it. I said I wasn't even gonna read it, and I was gonna collect the rest of them and read it all in one go, because it's just my only real issue with it, besides some of the dialogue and like one of the Tynan tropes, is that it's just way too decompressed. But it is an interesting story, and the art is phenomenal. So what I'll start off with is Cyberpunk 2077 Blackout, issue number 1.
Nice.
Yeah, this I enjoyed the trauma unit from Cyberpunk, and this story seemed really interesting from what.
That's right. It is a trauma unit.
Yeah, Trauma Unit was really good by Cullen Bunn. This is written by, well, you know what? Bartsos Saitabor. Roberto Ricci did the line art. Fabian Moscolo did the colors, and Frank Shetkovich.
No, it's in the world. Now, Rager is asking. It's obviously set in the world of Cyberpunk. Is it similar to the storyline, or is it just like a whole new story thing? Because it's obviously doesn't have Johnny Silverhand in there, but it's still like I would say it's
all these stories reference the world.
The way they handle things, like
along with the main storyline,
like that first mission where you see them, you recover the body, and
they don't follow that at all. It's like stories that happen within the world, but I mean,
are they jerks, or are they like this like a group of buddy like your friends like, oh man, I want to work today, and at the lockers changing like cops.
That's actually very much what this is like.
It's like following ambulance drivers.
Yeah, but this guy he works for DMS, and they have the whole dream dance thing where they
the brain
images. Yeah, brain dance. That's right. Not brain dance.
As Judy pointed out.
Anyway, he's one of the engineers, and he's like really, really good, and he has ideas of how he can like hack it and have it serve more of a purpose for like therapy and stuff like that for the community, instead of people just, kind of finding ways to not live their real lives. But he tries to tell one of the executives, after feeling defeated, because in his life, he's pretty much suicidal. Like he's constantly having thoughts of just dying, and he doesn't really want to live anymore. And this is like his main purpose. This is his dream, but it's suppressed because he has to serve the purpose of just people like not enjoying their lives so much that they escape and they get addicted to the brain dancing. So finally he builds up the courage after speaking to his best friend to go in there and tell the executive all of the therapeutic properties of it. He gets shot down. His boss is a jerk. Eventually he stands up to his boss and just says like, I'm quitting. But in the midst of all of it, he goes and sees one of his friends. His friend's a security guard, and they keep having these blackouts. Title. They keep having these blackouts in the city, and every time there's a blackout, the bank vaults, they go unsecured. So the police have to go there and kind of like form a barricade and protect.
Like trying to locks, they pop open.
Effectively, yeah. And the reason why the police go there is because that's where majority of the money is, and they go there and they protect it because it's vulnerable. So finally, after getting fired from his job, after trying to really apply his ideas for what it is, he goes and he asks his friend like, hey, want to rob a bank? So he's going to try to utilize the blackouts in that timing to rob the bank, since he got fired from his gig. So that's where issue number 1 ends. And it was really interesting. The art inside is pretty solid. I enjoy it. It's pretty good, if you can kind of see it in there.
Okay.
Not my favorite art style, but I can't say that it was bad. All the visual storytelling and everything was really on point. I really like the digital zipatone that they use in it. They're pretty gracious with that. But anyway, if you're looking for a fun book that kind of has a little bit of a person down on their luck, trying to do something positive and keeps getting beat down, and now they're not going to take it anymore, check out Cyberpunk 2077 Blackout. It's pretty good. All right.
Makes me want to go read some more Black Lotus, the Blade Runner books.
Yeah. See, that was a Cyberpunk book that I decided not to continue with. But I don't know. Maybe if I watch the show and I get inspired, maybe I'll go back and I'll.
It's a continuation from the show. That's why.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I didn't watch the show, so like I had less of an incentive. And I fell out of Blade Runner Origins. It kind of.
I just love anything that's in the Blade Runner universe, whether it's mediocre, or great. It's like I just love that whole universe, and I'll be sad when they stop writing stuff like that. Like Cyberpunk, came out, too. You wouldn't have these comic books. I mean, I'm just anything I can to just let them know, hey, we want more. It's like,
gotta vote with your wallet.
There you go.
Right. Next book up I have is from AWA Upshot. It is New Think, issue number 1. This is by Greg Hurwitz, Mike Deodato Jr., and Lee Lowridge on the colors.
Nice.
This is interesting. I only had read the concept, which was kind of like a peek into our world, like a peek into a world where technology is kind of taken over, and like it was slightly different from that, but that's ultimately what it equated to. And the cover, I have to say, the cover really did get me, because it was the whole Garden of Evil, but the forbidden apple or the forbidden fruit, if you will, was something that looks like an iPhone hanging from a tree. So that's the partaking of that will give people the knowledge of good and evil, and whatnot, and the awareness of it.
I gotta say, quickly, I'll let you go. This was at the cover. It looks like those peel-aways, like a McDonald's cup. Peel away the label. On the...
Oh, like when it's the Monopoly. Yeah. I can definitely see that. It's Mike Deodato Jr. art, so it's him tracing over stuff, drawing over stuff, and like photoshopping like way too much. That's where Mike Diodato Jr. is in 2022. How the mighty have fallen, but you know, like,
Yeah,
I don't care as
rip.
long as it looks good. I don't care what you do.
I
Better than
mean,
Greg Land, his monkey faces.
honestly, Greg Land has Mike Diodato Jr. beat these days.
That's so sad too. I used to love Mike Diodato Jr.'s art so much too. He was like doing
Love
one
it.
of the Avengers books when I was reading. And I was it was so good.
Yeah,
And now it's
he
like
was on New Avengers for a while. Wait, yeah, he was on
New Avengers. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, and back then he was still, you know, he was better than he is now. But hey, he's getting it's like it's AWA. I'm sure he's not getting the best page rate. He's like, look, I'm gonna give you some art. I'm gonna give you a name. You know, work with me here.
Yeah, right.
Anywho, what's interesting about this book is as you read through it, it's narrating a lot, but you don't really, you know what they're talking about, and there's references to all sorts of like very known, you know, notorious companies in it. I'm looking for a particular page, like Goldman Cracks. If y'all see that down there in the corner.
Wow.
I like that.
The Goldman and Sachs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's so you know what they're referencing as you're going through the book, but it's narrating a bunch, and it's not entirely telling you what the story is about, which I was like, okay, you know, like I was following along, and then finally you get to the end, and it's Greg Hurwitz that like sends a message.
Wow.
And he does it in a text stream on a phone, and ultimately what you get to is this wasn't a story about a story. This was a story about our world. And it was a narrative about our world and what our world has become and where we're at now and how much we're, in a sense, you know, we know how reliant we are on technology, but really talking about like our technological addictions. And once I got to the end and I was like, oh, so like this is like it's about us. I was really, at first I was a little bummed because I thought this was going to be a story about something else. And then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I respect the fact that you did that. You just led us along the whole time. And then you dropped it on us about what it's about. And then on the next issue, I realized that this is like an anthology. So the next issue isn't Mike Diodato Jr. on it. It's a totally different artist. He gives preview pages. It's a narrative about something else related to our world. And now I'm completely open to like just finding out, okay, like what are you going to talk about next? What's the next allegory, for lack of a better term, that you're going to provide to us in the next one? And I'm looking forward to not, you know, looking at more Mike Diodato Jr. art from 2022. But anyway, New Think 1.0 is what it is. And then each version, like issue number 2 will be 2.0, 3.0. So they go on.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what that was. But more than what it's about, it's the way I really enjoyed the satire. It reminded me a little bit of another book that Mike Diodato Jr. just finished doing art on, and it was Not All Robots with Mark Russell and Mike Diodato Jr. Easily one of my top, I would say it was a top 15 comic for me as it was coming out last year. Very, very funny, very interesting. So that was that book. A book that I did not put on my pull list, although my buddy Nalo was offered, and he was like, you know, he really likes James Tynion right now, and he was like, hey, you know, if you want to read this, like you should check it out. And I was like, I think I got enough Tynion. I got The Nice House on the Lake, reading Department of Truth. I'm not a huge Tynion fan, but I like his concepts. But the guy at my shop knows that I have Tynion stuff on my pull list, so he put The Closet on there.
Oh, number one. Pixel.
The book about Pixel. Are you saying the character in there kind of looks like Pixel?
No, I'm just saying The Closet because that's where he streams from, his closet.
Oh, does he stream from his closet? I don't know. This kid might.
Little backstage information about how Pixel when he streams. He's in his closet. You don't know.
That might be Pixel.
Could be.
Oh, that's older Pixel in his 40s.
No. The kid.
Oh, the kid. Oh, yeah. The glasses.
Just put some glasses on him.
There you go.
Anyhow, pretty straightforward story. tying in with his, something's killing the children. And, he likes to use the, is it real? Is it not real whole thing. So it's a kid. He doesn't want to sleep alone. He's telling his parents something's going on in the closet. They are getting ready to move. So mom and dad are not getting along. They're going to start a new life. And I think they're going to Oregon. And he's just like, look, bud, there's one last night here. After that, you won't even have to deal with anything anymore. There's nothing really in the closet anyway. But everything's packed up. So you can't sleep with me and mom tonight. Like just spend the last night in here and let us get some rest. Part of the reason for that really is they're fighting and they don't want the kid to see them fighting.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, there's something in the closet. Only the kid can see it. Something scaring the toddler, instead of something's killing the children. But of course, it's the way that the story rolls out. I really, really, really like Gavin Fullerton's art in this, and I'll go back to that. I'm someone who I like thick and simple lines. If you get thick and simple lines with really just solid, straightforward, coloring, which Holleran from which you will see him again here going through my list. But
something that's scaring the children is a Puppeteen in the closet.
Puppeteen in the closet. But yeah, very solid, art, straightforward, good storytelling, and it's the pacing and it's the way that James Tynion rolls things out that really got it. This script was pretty straightforward. He wasn't as wordy as he always is, and the dialogue didn't take me out of it. It was actually more well thought out dialogue. So check it out. The Closet, issue number 1, James Tynion, Gavin Fullerton, Chris O'Halloran on colors.
Good to see that he's still doing stories outside of comic books, as far as the big 2, and still holding his own weight, surviving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
we always wonder that, you think that the big 2 would just kind of like want to bury these people.
You would think that they would want to. I mean, and I think from what I understand, this book actually started on his Substack. So this is one of the books that started on his Substack and then eventually, went to print like they said. So finally
after 9 months.
Yeah. So it was good. He's such a prolific writer. He writes so much. To me, it's just always like I never question his concepts. To me, it's always like how are they going to get executed? Because sometimes I think he's writing so much. He's just like, I got to get scripts done, and then he just kind of like farts some stuff.
That's how I felt with like Joshua Williamson. He was writing so much, and at the time he also had Jeff Johns back in the day in the 2000s was writing a lot.
Oh yeah, he was writing.
And that's how you tell who is a good writer. If they can write like 6-7 books at a time coming out within and not neither of them are showing any side effects of being strained writing other stuff. Like they can continue with writing the storyline and actually because I imagine like a writer for all these ideas, but then you're like the whole problem is that like the worst you can have is like you're writing like these guys 7 books, writing block.
Yeah, pretty much. But book number 3.
Sweet.
Top 3 now.
I read this. I'm excited for the trade.
Oh, right. That's right. You are you're waiting for that. Another good issue from Robert Kirkman, Chris Samney, Matt Wilson on colors, and Russ.
More Owen abuse by the old people.
more great art, more great colors, more great story. I won't say too much because I know
the guy with the samurai. Is it Master Lin?
I believe it is Lin. I think so.
I can't remember what his name is, but it's
Master Shun.
Okay, it's like we get. Everybody's ever watched Samurai Troopers or Ronin Warriors? The 5 these 5 warriors come together to take on the evil. It's like they're bringing all these old people. It's like Red 2.
It's like Red 2. Yeah, kind of. That's pretty much what it is. Or I'm like it's between that and I'm also starting to get a little feeling of like the Magnificent 7.
Yeah. I was gonna say it reminds me of in Avatar, The Last Airbender. There's like the Order of the White Lotus.
But I love how Owen's on the plane and he's like I can only handle one of you and I got 2 of you. It's like and you're like quit being so grumpy.
Yeah, exactly. But he's just like, yeah, but you guys are just like nonstop getting on my case.
Like I said, there's so much emotion. There's humor in this book. There's also like dreaded moments, like suspense moments, because like his wife is talking to Owen's parents and telling, oh, they're like, oh, there's Reagan Hong Kong. He's like, we'll be fine. I gotta go, and she hangs up the phone because she doesn't know what else to say because she's ready to break down and cry. Because how are you gonna kill a freaking dragon? And I love you, but you can really get distraught up because you get the two kids are like, my flamethrower is bigger than yours, but she's like, but mine's blue, dumbass, it's hotter.
That's Robert Kirkman, just like with the good, believable dialogue that's very fitting for the characters. But yeah, you can, and I liked in this issue because sometimes this story is also very decompressed, but usually it's it either doesn't put so much dialogue in there that you're kind of like feeling like it's a chore, or B, it will put enough different scenes in there to where even though it's decompressed, you still feel like things are happening because you're going, to different places and you're seeing people, make some sort of progress towards the big battle.
That's kind of like what Walking Dead was too. Walking Dead, sometimes you get issues where there's hardly dialogue, and the other issues there's like, Rick, thanks for the giant paragraph.
Right, exactly. And I think he's learned from that because he lets Chris Samney take the wheel quite a bit and just do a lot of visual storytelling. So I really appreciate it.
Also, speaking of Kirkman, for those who didn't buy the Skybound X trades, the books, the minute they said they weren't going to reprint, they took all the Walking Dead stories out of Skybound X, put them in hardcover bound. So there you go.
Well, all of the Rick Grimes 2000s.
That's what I mean. Not all the other stuff, like the Clementine or all the other stuff. Yeah, it's just the Walking Dead 2000.
Yeah, just Rick Grimes 2000. No, I was like,
but
that's all I was buying the book for with the Rick Grimes stuff. I would have known that.
That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part. But I'm glad I have the floppies too, though. So
technically, he didn't lie to us, but he didn't tell us the full truth.
Well, I saw on Instagram he said that somebody at Image might have misspoke. It wasn't from him. I think it was Ryan Otley's Instagram I was on.
It was on all those websites, and they weren't going to reprint it. It was on the Skybound X website.
Yeah, well, that was it. I think it was some spokesperson for Image that might have said that, not him personally. So,
one time waiting for the trades actually works out in your benefits.
Well, look, now you've got the Skybound X floppies, and they're collectible item. I mean,
yeah,
they're going to shoot up in value
in the long run. Sure. If somebody wants, science stock.
I mean, look, if you don't like them anymore, I'll take them from you.
I'll sell to you, so I can go take that money and get that one book for like a third of the price that I paid for all those
books. All right, book number 2. Probably apparent that this was going to be on here, but I said Crystal Holloman would be on here twice. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance.
Nice.
Issue number 8. This story just continues to be super thrilling and gripping, very tense. It's Rick Remender, who is RDV's new favorite writer. Andre Lima Araujo on the lines, Chris O'Halloran again on the colors, Russ Wooten again too. Russ Wooten back to back. Who's the real MVP of my list? Apparently, it's Russ Wooten. But
every time I see Rick Remenders now, I get a little choked up because
yeah, you love your Deadly Class
because it's so out there. It's not anything like anything else it's put out there, and it's not a Cape book.
It's not a Cape book. This is very true.
It's 80s, but it's also goes to the decade. It's kind of like a life story in a sense too.
Very much. But as you can see, Andre Lima Araujo doing so much of the heavy lifting on very light script, of course. But it's just tons of action. The way that they go from panel to panel is very good. It is very similar to how Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney, kind of switch back and forth, like who's driving. Is the script driving with the dialogue? Is it is the visual storytelling? But this book, it gets really graphic this time around. And
Lance Henriksen versus your buddy.
Who was that?
Is that Lance Henriksen on the cover?
Who's that?
Lance
from Deadly Class.
Well, no, Lance Henriksen. You know what it is? He was on Aliens. He was the cyborg guy. He was also in a Millennium show, like the 90s.
Dating yourself right now, are you?
Yeah, a little bit. I have no idea what he's talking about. I thought he was talking about a wrestler from WWE or something.
I thought he was talking about the Russian dude from Deadly Class for a minute.
No.
That's like Peter or something like that. Victor. I was like, yeah,
yes,
it's like Peter.
The jock, the Russian jock, you know.
Yes. But no, like what was set up in issue number 1 really pays off in this issue, and it leaves you on a huge cliffhanger, a very, very good one. I wrote a small review and I was like, it leaves you on your knees pleading, for, on that whole say it ain't so, tip, like, no, please don't let this be the case. So yeah, another expertly crafted book. And again, I appreciate how they respect our time. It's like they get in, they bang, and then they get out, very similar to Firepower. So very much appreciated. And finally, my last book is now that Homesick Pilots is on its last issue in 2 weeks, my new favorite, like, kind of book where it's like teens or younger people, living in a world where they have to like make sense of things and kind of invent their own rules. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Issue number 6. Matthew Rosenberg, Tyler Boss on the lines and colors and lettering. Man, this book it's just so fun. I think we all have books like where we just enjoy spending time with the characters and the world that they're in and how they respond to each other and how they respond in the world.
Skip, I just want to interrupt you for 1 second. And 3, 2, 1.
Oh wow.
There's no can? Oh no, green. There it is.
I don't have any new books, but I just wanted to spend some time with these characters.
That's criminal. I mean, that's very criminal of you.
Very, very criminal.
Boo.
But yeah, they continue to go around, like, each issue in this world that they live in where there's no adults. They can, and they've lost their home because there's tribes. Every group of kid has a tribe. It can be anywhere from a bunch of kids who all have the same name and they're like Walmart employees and it's a store, and this time it's a carnival. The main cast that we follow, they're all record store kids, which plays into it. And like
what decade do you think it is? Does it give a decade feeling as far as like if it's in the 80s, 90s? Or
it doesn't tell you, but it feels kind of timeless. You don't really know. If I had to guess, I would say 90s, but it's really hard. It's hard to tell, and that's kind of like one of the points. They want it to feel timeless. You're kind of not really supposed to know, and because of that, what the music that everybody likes is like so varied and different. It's now the music that they like isn't all from the same genre, but every different tribe, whatever their shtick is, like that, like those are their gods, so to speak. So for them, their gods are like musicians, and they keep their little symbols are records. So that's what they keep on them. And in this issue, they got into it. What'd you say?
The Bon Jovi's my god.
Was Bon Jovi in that one? I want to say that I know Hall & Oates has been in there.
Not Hall & Oates. I'm just saying the rock gods, Bon Jovi.
Yeah, well, it's yours, right? But they get in a tight spot where they get into a point where they have to start sacrificing their gods, so they have to start giving them up to people, and it puts them in a place where they're like, okay, well, who are we now? Because we don't really have the thing that like makes wherever we're at, like where it grounds us and still gives us a little feel of home. We don't have that anymore. So they're trying to, find out who they are now again, trying to find like a new identity for themselves. I won't say more than that because it does really start to spoil where things go. But I'm surprised at like how they've upped the intrigue on what seems like a weird yet really simple premise, kind of where they take the story, and all of the interactions is really good. I love Tyler Boss's art. Very simple lines, again, very good coloring. I love his lettering. And Matthew Rosenberg, like, this is a type of stuff where he shines in, because I get it. He's not always the best when he's at the big two and he has to play around with stuff that's already established. But whenever he gets to create new characters, especially if they're younger, he definitely takes what Bendis used to do, you could tell he's a student of business. He takes it, but he does it in a much more tolerable way for 2022. So I love this book. That was my last one. And then my last two, they're just back issues.
I'm just looking at your Styro box over in the Justice League. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, the star. Yeah, I had to get the Styro.
Got my hair away. I was like trying to tell the other one. It's someone that said Iron Man above that.
Yeah, they put those out right around the time that Suicide Squad came out. So.
Okay.
I never saw
I
that.
gotta find one of those boxes. That looks cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's like $100.
One of my
yeah,
shops
sure.
has like a bunch of them. I there were some people that were around Breen's experience of comics that were talking about Void Indigo, and I found it for $5. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab the Void Indigo graphic novel and see what it's all about. So I found that one for $5.
It's all about Vision.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what you're saying is there's a bunch of old fucks talking.
Came out of your mouth, not mine.
That's one.
And everybody feels a certain way about X-Men these days, but I only had the digital version, so it was cool to be able to find a graphic novel.
Nice.
It was only $12, so I had to grab it. And that's it. Those are my comics for the week.
All right.
Very cool.
Zach, we'll throw you out there.
What's up?
Now you gotta try and top that now.
I'll try.
It'll be easy.
I'll try.
with our magical twin powers.
Most of
powers activate.
Most of the books I got, you've already seen, so I won't spend too much time. There is one book nobody else got that I was very surprised that I enjoyed as much as I did. So number 5, I got X-Men 92, House of 92.
A-cover.
The A cover. I like the A cover. The group shot there.
I just wasn't into that's one thing about the art is when they show Rogue's face. Oof.
Well, so this is the bottom of my list. Not for the story. The story is actually really cool. Vinkman talked about it a little while ago. You see Jubilee is pretty much taking over Moira McTaggart's role. She lives multiple lives and comes back each time. This is the bottom of my list because they found a way to connect it to main X-Men in the main universe. Bobby is still gay. There's a scene where Rogue is going on a ship. She's taking over Kitty Pryde's role, and Gambit's like, "Oh, I'm jealous. These guys, you get to go on the ship with all these guys." And Rogue's like, "Don't worry about it. They're not going to be any distraction. Remind me to tell you why Iceman and Lorna Dane aren't together anymore."
Yeah.
So there was that. I was like, well, great. They found some way to bring the regular 616. But no, I did not know. But anyway, moving on to it though, it was actually really cool. I like to see, Jubilee, these different times, these different approaches that she took trying to counter the Sentinels. And like Bankman said, this is her last life, so they pretty much have her locked away in a bunker. So yeah, really, really cool. There's these interactions between Wolverine and Sabretooth that I thought were really neat. It's how I remember Wolverine and Sabretooth being when I was a kid. So decent read though. The art was still really good. It had that very cartoony vibe. So I did enjoy that.
The giant Tri-Sentinel.
Yeah, the Tri-Sentinel, that was pretty cool. Other than that, the Tri-Sentinel aside, this was a very exposition-y feeling book.
It did.
Which I was okay with because I had questions after issue number 1, so this did do a good job of answering
The big difference between that and the current X-Men, and Bobby being gay, is that Wolverine doesn't trust the whole revival thing. He hates it.
Yeah.
The process.
Number 4 on my list, I also got Justice League Road to Dark Crises. Now, here's the thing.
Crises?
I had a hot take on this. I didn't hate this as much as Vinkman did. I actually enjoyed this a good amount for what
I didn't hate it. It was just.
I was in the Discord. I read your notes.
I said it was meh, average, like Naomi.
No, this is better than Naomi. I'm
Mid.
sorry.
Mid, exactly. Thank you, Brandon.
But no, I enjoyed this. I think you were right. The first 2 stories, the Joshua Williamson one and the Jeremy Adams one,
it just went down.
Those are the high notes. especially where Nightwing and John Kent are interacting. I did really enjoy that, where Nightwing is basically telling John, it's like, yo, these guys have died before. They come back. I did like that. That was really cool. Of course, the Flash, Jeremy Adams just kills it every time he writes the Flash
That's
and
the
writes
thing.
Wally.
Is I was reading the Josh Williamson was okay story, but then he comes to Jeremy Adams like, what story before this?
So, but yeah, the other stories in here too. The Green Lantern one, was okay. Hal Jordan, I like seeing Hal Jordan back in a spotlight again.
Mhm.
The whole reason of how he comes back, and it's a little too tailor made, I think, where he
Tom
teams up with
Taylor-made?
Aqualad. No, Taylor, Tailor. The Pariah story, it was, I guess it's necessary because I guess it's supposed to tell you his motivation, why he's all of a sudden going bad. It was a little wordy, I guess, for me.
He reminded me of the Gray Man in a sense.
Yeah, but a little bit. I could see that from Justice League International. I could see that.
He has an emotional reason why he
And
did things, but then he just, couldn't realize he was wrong, but
yep. And then the ending one, the Nocturna story, I liked it. I didn't have any strong feelings for or against it. It kind of reminded me of, in the Justice League animated series where Superman dies and Lex Luthor kind of, has a little bit of remorse over it, or any of those episodes where the heroes and the villains kind of see eye to eye and they call it even for a day or so. I kind of got that. I did like that last page though, where Firefly is bringing Nocturna into the new secret society. I love that last panel because I didn't recognize maybe but 2 or 3 villains on that page. There was no Joker, no Lex Luthor, no villain that we've already seen 100 times. I recognized Prometheus, I think Shaggy Man, and Silver Banshee. So I thought it was cool because I like, hey, there are villains in the catalog of DC that have just been sitting there with dust collecting. So I like that, there's a chance we may get to see some of them in action again, rather than seeing Joker or Luthor or Doomsday for the 100th time.
I want Tiger Shark to come back in Marvel.
Bring him back. That's Marvel. Next one, I got Scorched #6. I got the Jim Lee connecting cover variant right here. Good issue. It's kind of the aftermath of the battle from issue #5, and I love it because all these different spawns, they don't play with each other very, very well. They don't. There's not a lot of teamwork. They're very antagonistic towards each other. They've all kind of got their own motives. So I kind of like seeing how these different personalities clash with each other. And Vinkman, you nailed it with Spawn, like just regular Spawn, or I call Spawn Prime. Dude's a jerk. Dude is just a jerk. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to play along with anybody. He goes and throws that one guy into limbo. He's just like, we're going to see how he deals with it. I was
always under the impression that he was not like Superman, but he wasn't like, this guy's more of a dick than Batman is. Batman is actually much nicer. Think about it.
Well,
but it's just like, he's just like broody.
Well, anyone that's gonna get their powers from hell, I mean, I don't expect them to be all nice. The nicest one probably in the group is probably Medieval. Probably, if I had to, or the most noble one, I should say, in the group is probably Medieval. But yeah, good story though. I'm excited. Like I said, this is also one of the cheapest books that are out there on the stands, like $2.99. Thank you, Todd McFarlane. But yeah, really good stuff. There's also the whole side story, or I don't know if it's a side story, but it's like a back burner, slow cooking plot of who's the traitor on the team or who's going to betray the team. So that's kind of an interesting little plot point there as well. So I'm really enjoying
the whole Haunt thing. Kind of threw me off. I was not expecting that. Haunt and Blood, aren't those guys? Well, no, Blood. No, Blood's his mortal enemy is the Wolfman guy. Gary, an image, or no?
Well, I know the whole thing. I mean, this was part of McFarlane's launch. He is doing a Spawn universe because remember, there's King Spawn, there's Gunslinger Spawn, there's Spawn.
Yeah, keep bringing out. I think he's going to start bringing in more Image stuff. Big characters in a crossover.
I don't know about Image. I just know he was doing like a Spawn universe. That's all I know there.
Skybound, aren't they still considered Image? Or are they branched off their own company?
I think they still work under Image because my number one book of the week, Skybound. There's Image right next to it.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna see crossover between all these guys.
this is the Kim Jung-gi connecting variant, which I just love the art on the dragon and the background there. And then I think that's either Owen's daughter or that's his ex-girlfriend that he thought was dead. It's one of the two.
It's
I think it's the girlfriend.
yeah.
But yeah, beautiful cover there. And yeah, I know Skip talked about this. This is always going to be my number one. I don't care what other books come out the same week this one does. Firepower is always going to be my number one. I've just grown such a fondness for this title.
Like I said, Kirkman, pretty much whatever book he's writing, he puts his heart into it. He doesn't. It's not he's phoning it in. He's giving you a good, decent story.
He does, and you never really know which way he's going to take the characters too, which I like. So in this issue, you've got this really cool duel that opens up between the old master that we've seen the last few issues, who has like the eye patch, and he's fighting against I forget the guy's name, the guy who's controlling the dragon.
He's the guy that was in the statue, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the guy that was in the statue.
Yeah.
But Master Shun is the eye patch guy's name. Master Shun, and he's fighting this guy, and it's just so crazy because the bad guy, he's throwing like green fireballs, and then Master Shun just slices them in half with a sword.
Yeah,
he throws the sword and has like this little string attached to it, because so he pulls it back to him, and that's how he cuts the bad guy. And he is like, nobody ever gets it's very difficult to land a cut on me.
Yeah.
Draw blood. And so they fight to a standstill, but it's just this really cool opening. And that's what the scene that this book starts with. There's some other cool scenes, very humanizing, very human.
Yes.
Like you see normal characters doing this kind of thing. Like you said, you mentioned the conversation between Owen's wife and his parents. There's the stuff with his kids.
Wei Lun is old man, I think is right. Is that what his name is?
Wei Lun, the bad guy, you mean?
No, the main guy with the sneakers.
Yeah. I think it is Wei Lun.
They're in a conversation. And Owen's like, he's like, yeah, the U.S. has got their navy there, on standby, and so does Russia and stuff. And all. It's like, he's like, can't we just make an announcement, let them know that we got this handled? He's like, sure, we'll tell them a bunch of ninjas and old people that live like hermits, mystical ninjas. We're gonna protect the world. You just go home, idiot. And all the other masters in there too. They start laughing at him. He's like,
yeah,
it's fair enough. I had one of you. Now I got two of you.
Yeah, but this is just a great story. The colors in here continue to be awesome.
Yep.
And of course, Chris Samney is one of my favorite comic artists in this era of comics that we're in right now. Great book. Yeah, and it does kind of give off, like you were saying, red, or I said it's like the White Lotus, where all the old masters get gathered before a big explosion, a big battle. So I'm really, really digging this. Number one book of the week right here. Now, this is my number one. I still have one book to go, though. I saved this one. This is like a little extra. Nobody else mentioned this book, and I don't normally pick up this title, but it had an annual come out.
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
And I know the annuals don't normally go along with like the normal run that's going on. So I thought, let me take a chance on this, because my comic shop also, they didn't have Primer Red. So I got denied my Brett Booth artwork, which I was really sad about. But pick this up today. Action Comics.
Ooh, glad I was in the other one.
The 2022 annual, Tale of Two Titans. I really love this cover too. It kind of almost has it kind of gives off a jet. No, it's Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Oh, Johnson, okay.
And Simon Spurrier.
I saw O on there, so I wasn't sure. I was in the title, the name people on there.
Action Comics, and then of course Dale Eaglesham is doing some of the interiors on here as well. So that got my attention as well. I love Dale Eaglesham's art, but really great story in here. I mean, the cover, the title says it all. Tale of Two Titans. What it is it takes a story from Mongol's origin. Now you can tell you Mongol's origin revealed. So you see what Mongol was like as a child, and then there's a story of young Clark Kent as a child, and it the two kind of mirror each other. You see Clark growing up, and you see how Ma Kent treats him as very lovingly, compassionately, teaching him a life lesson. Contrast with Mongol, who grows up in this wasteland in outer space, and his mom pretty much hates him. They're thrown out of a tribe because of him, and they have to survive in the waste together. And she's just always just berating him, belittling him. So you see this contrast between the two. But really great story. Actually got an emotional response out of me with the Clark Kent one. Because in this one, there's this new kid, this bully that comes to Smallville, kind of, that says terrible things about,
Mhm.
Clark. And, Clark's just, and this is like young 10-year-old Clark Kent. And he's like, I just want to punch him in the face. And, his mom is like, well, no, you can't do that. And, you find out that this bully, he's got an abusive drunk driver of a father. He's got all of his own issues. Well, you come to find out, after Clark this kid he kicks a soccer ball at Clark's head, and it goes and it hits Ma Kent. She falls over. At this story, I mean, I won't give away the exact details, but there's like a really big twist that I didn't see coming.
He goes Brightburn, right, and just kills the kid.
No, he does not. He does not kill the
You're
kid.
my mom.
But
He makes out with him.
No, he does not do that either. But it does lead to this really cool point in the story where Clark all of a sudden feels more protective of his mom. He actually goes to confront the bully the way he wants to at one point, but then decides, mom knows. And it really is. It's in keeping with the spirit of Clark Kent's Superman. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great story. So if you haven't picked it up yet, I think this is definitely worth it just for the Clark Kent story alone. The Mongol one is also really good, but the Clark Kent one is what really caught my attention.
Does he go up to him and say, "When I was a boy"?
No, he actually, there's this whole speech that his mom gives him, and I'm paraphrasing this, but she's like, Clark, it's not a challenge for you to feel special. You've got these superpowers and everything. You're very special. You are special, but it's very easy for you to come to that conclusion. Other kids may never hear that they're special, especially, she's talking about the boy that's the bully, like because you can see like his dad berates him and slaps him around and everything. It's like if you can make someone else feel special even for like a short amount of time, that's trying to inspire them or help them out, kind of helps, it helps make the world a better place. So I really dug that story. It has a really cool ending with Clark Kent, kind of a tragic ending with Mongol. Of course, we know how Mongol ends up, but being the warlord of Warworld. But yeah, really great story. Really glad I decided to pick that one up. I did also get, finally, my post office is slow as a snail in molasses. I did finally get my books from E's auction.
Can't be slower than Breen's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Breen's did take a while to get that card. I'm actually really glad I got this because the birthday gift for my wife was in this lot. So I'm glad I got it today because the birthday's tomorrow.
Did you already open it up? You opened it up already?
I didn't open it. Like, I didn't take it out of the package.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I took it out of the bag. I didn't take it out of the bag, though.
Because that'd be funny. You're like, I'm going to open the package live, and it's not there.
No. I did also pick this up. This was at my LCS. I haven't read One Punch Man. I know of it. I know generalities about it. But I picked up volume 1 at my LCS. I've seen bits of the anime. I think the manga, it goes a little bit longer. So
Great.
looking forward to giving this a try.
Now we lost our stream rights for 3 months.
What are you talking about?
You showed One Punch on a stream.
So?
Don't you remember? That's why he got banned for 3 months because he showed a clip of One Punch Man.
I'm showing the book.
I'm not
showing a clip. But no, what did I got here? I got some Rebirth Teen Titans from Benjamin Percy's run. I actually did enjoy this. I really liked
Changeling, right? Changeling?
Beast Boy, you motherfucker. Beast Boy.
Changeling.
Beast Boy's better. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me.
Actually, no, Beast Girl's better.
No. What? I got some. I don't know why I got these. I haven't read these yet. New 52, but there's a Justice League International. Now, it is Dan Jurgens and Aaron Lopresti, so I do have high expectations.
Yeah, booster.
So I got issue number 2. Of course, there's issue number 4. The cover art looks really great. Issue number 5 right there. So you have Guy Gardner in there, Batman, Fire and Ice. So excited to dig into that one. Got Astonishing X-Men, Age of Apocalypse. Very 90s looking.
Age of Apocalypse. Sorry.
Got some New Teen Titans.
Terra. Oh.
Number 28 right there. That's a really cool cover. I got number 31. Raven Berserk. Got a new What If for my collection.
Beastling.
What if Vision conquered the world? She-Hulk is in here too, I guess.
He also got jacked up too if he conquered the world. Really. Also,
Got West Coast Avengers number 16. I've been looking for this issue.
nice.
I call it the Meow issue. Secret Origins starring Justice League of America. And also
Wow.
Justice League International.
You see where Booster is.
You see
I
where
just
Blue
noticed
Beetle is too. Booster and Blue Beetle. They both look at the same thing. Perverts. You got this bad boy.
Nice.
Add this to my small collection of wedding themed issues.
Just
And
frame it.
I couldn't remember if I had the one with the heroes and villains on it or if I had the one with people from his normal
The
life.
one I have is Peter Parker, I believe.
I like this one better personally. So I'm excited about that one.
Frame that and put it on your wall.
Wonder Man number 1. The best. This is the best costume. When folks ask me what's the best Wonder Man costume, this is the best one.
I like the green one. That's
Zach, I admire someone who can persevere while consistently being wrong.
That's my power. I'm like Spider-Man. I just bounce right back up after getting knocked down. Another new Teen Titans.
Brother Blood.
Brother Blood. Brother Blood.
Brother.
To go along with your Batman adventures,
Nice.
Justice League adventures, number 5, with Starro, since we were talking about Starro a little while ago. Got a really shiny Guardians of the Galaxy, number 25. I really dig that cover. Got some Avengers West Coast, number 63, with Human Torch versus the Living Laser.
Living Laser.
Laser 64 with Captain America.
And some guy with is that Claw behind him?
I don't know who that is behind. No, it's not Claw. It's got sunglasses.
He looks. He's got the creepy glasses and he's got a glowing fist.
And then number 50. So this is the one where Jim Hammond, I guess, makes his return, coming out of the graveyard. So and then this is the Pièce de Résistance. This is the one that my wife will be getting tomorrow. So I'm lucky she doesn't watch these streams. But Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle.
Nice.
Bob Layton art.
Yes, Bob Layton. Awesome.
So, yeah, issue 120. Eric, am I correct in saying that this is probably one of at least the top 3 most important issues of Iron Man?
Well, people would say that. I don't agree because the second go round with the alcoholism, they took way more time to flesh it out. This one, there was kind of he'd been drinking a little bit more in the issues leading up to it, but they never really intimated that he had a problem, and they just did it all in one issue. So I guess in that regards, it would be, but as far as the impact that it had, not even close to the Denny O'Neil one.
Okay.
The following years, where it literally took years to unfold.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's it. That was my comic book haul this week. So, and Maranya agrees with me. She says it is one of the better. That is one of the best Wonder Man costumes. I win.
No, you do not.
Yep. All right. So, Breen, I don't think you have anything to show off, do you?
Oh,
Nothing.
just a couple things I was reading tonight.
He always has something to
Let
show
me
off.
get you over there.
They're literally just a couple. So it's...
That's part of the Brood Saga, isn't it?
It's the wrap up, yeah.
Nice.
And
Very
then
cool.
the famous Professor Xavier is a jerk.
I do like that cover. That is a nice cover.
Wolverine's a jerk. Nice.
Yeah, so I didn't pick up anything this week, so I was just reading those.
You don't have to pick up anything. Just reach under your couch.
That's true.
All right. Skip said he'll be right back. That's a while ago. Alrighty. I don't have anything else to talk about. I mean, as far as comic news this week, like we said, we talked about Joe Quesada stepped down, and then someone else stepped down too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
AWA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was that.
And kind of makes you wonder because they worked together 25 years ago. So that's.
And as far as everybody saying, cheering that Joe Quesada is gone, yay! Finally. I look at it this way, being the devil's advocate here. What if he was the only thing that left that was actually keeping them from going full retarded?
Well, honestly, it can't get worse.
That's what we said about Bendis.
No, but it's if you think about, for every decent thing Marvel does, they take 2 steps back. I mean, unlike DC, which has just fallen off the cliff.
Yeah.
But
I wonder though if they'll get rid of the original writers like Peter David and stuff, just bring in more full because right now we're in Pride Month. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide, because remember the Real Line toy sales, Disney sales, stuff, merchandise, shows, the comic books. If Marvel wanted to, they could just pretty much put out as much crap as they want. Now, like I said, MJ is gonna go full lesbian now.
She's not gonna go. I don't believe that. But
yep, give the fans what they want. Black Cat and MJ together.
I mean, you say that, but every time there's a J. Scott Campbell cover that comes out with the 2 don't people like us rush and get those covers?
Because they're drawn perfectly, but they're not kissing though. If they're kissing, I wouldn't buy it.
Don't go to DeviantArt.
What is DeviantArt? I've never heard of this.
Uh-huh.
All right. Didn't they do that perspective? X-Men Dark Phoenix. X-Men. Charles Xavier a jerk in the Dark Phoenix.
I don't remember.
No.
Couldn't tell you.
No. I do have that book though. I mean, I eat the floppy. I have the hardcover, Masterworks version of Demon in a Bottle.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I was gonna actually put that in the auction. Future auction soon. I guess I gotta mail some books out.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I'm getting a few. I've actually got to send E some pretty soon.
I've been hesitant. It's nothing against E or anything, but I've been hesitant putting books in the auction because it's hit or miss when it comes to stuff like that, and I just don't want to even though I get the books at a discount.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people that are interested in stuff like that. Books like Demon in a Bottle. I don't know if that's a really big seller now versus I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would be.
Well, I had all those Alpha Flight.
Trade.
I had all those Alpha Flight issues that I thought would go over really well.
I think Infinity Gauntlet would go faster than Demon in a Bottle because Thanos and all that crap. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to see what's considered popular by new readers this year.
Yeah.
Or do new readers even care about old trades like that? Because all these comic sites, they rank as far as the best Marvel's stories, events you should read. It's just like the people coming in today. Do they even want to go back and read that? Are they happy with what's going on today?
But I don't know if the crowds for E's auctions, if they typically follow those lists, like if they share the same thoughts. I could be wrong, but I don't know if I am.
Speaking of which, you said you'll be gone tomorrow.
Yes, I will be gone. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I will be nowhere near my computer. Probably Saturday too. So.
Well, the auction's on hold then.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure E is just waiting for my face to come up here and distract everybody.
No, he's waiting for you to bid. I don't know. Mine's still sealed. It's the gold hardcover trade.
You should probably unseal it and check.
Well, that decreases the value of it selling it. Surely you would know this.
Surely I do, but don't call me Shirley.
You don't have to be a ruffian about it.
A ruffian?
Yes, you hooligan. That's my Chera accent that Breen does. There's nowhere close to doing justice, but please check out. We did a reading put up yesterday. Elektra versus Daredevil. We're at 17. We would love if we can get up to 117 like the other one before that with Doc Ock. That just took off for some reason. I don't know why, but go check out.
Gams. It's all about the gams.
That's what Pixel said. Pixel said, just need to put gams in the title.
There you go.
I told him this Photoshop anime into every cover and see if people notice. Spider gams.
Spider gams. We should. I think we're losing people.
We are
right talking.
Yeah. These gams. What? No.
So
it is late. It is after midnight of my Mr. Breen and anybody else who's on the East Coast. We do thank you that for those who did show up and stayed with us, and those who are watching this after the stream.
Yeah.
We asked that if you would like to, since I forgot to on the last one, but you don't have to. But
he's back.
Right when we're leaving, he's like, "I'll go on camera. I gotta steal the ending, Thunder." If you like this kind of content, click like, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Did you have different books that you thought were better? Was there books that we didn't talk about that you thought were better? Or you just don't like us? Want to insult us? Leave a comment down below.
Let us know what books you got that we didn't show off, and tell us if we should get them or not.
Yes. And if you want us to, I guess for the retro replay, or not retro replay, but the Thursday night retrospective, if there's a certain book that you maybe thought would be interesting covering, and maybe you want to join us on it, Fred, leave a comment down below. And if you want to help out the channel, we have a Ko-Fi bin. Why? Because we're not monetized. We're nowhere near as being monetized. And even if we were, YouTube takes like a good chunk out of it because they're like, pay up. They're the pimp. They're
that painting,
Yes.
that Renaissance-ish painting of that guy that's going like this. There's a meme of it. Like every time you take home a paycheck, the government. That's YouTube.
Yeah, so yeah, Ko-Fi.com/Puppetine. Because where does your money go to? Goes to the channel. We pay for readings. We pay for the Marvel app and the DC app. And then and then sometimes we pay the people that jump on here and read with us. But only when they have billing, not the end friends.
Yeah, that's us out.
Yep, that's yeah. Shoot, I'm not even a guest here half the time. So I mean, I'm just like a cameo.
That's because you have a gambling problem. You gamble away your status all the time.
A creditless cameo.
All right. That being said, I hope you guys had fun. And we'll see ya. Oh, hold on. We do have a request here. Wonder Woman: Game of the Gods, Volume 2, issues 189 through 184.
Is that a reading request, or is she telling us what book she got?
I think it's a reading request, so maybe we'll check this out. And,
she wants a book where she knows she has a role that we won't take from her. Wonder
No,
Woman.
I think she's talking about retrospective.
Retrospective, not reading.
Oh, okay. I haven't read a Wonder Woman solo title.
Yes.
Recently, like in the past 9 years or something.
I may not have those.
Wow. Stump the brain.
Stump the brain.
All right, guys. Thank you as always, Skip, for joining us. Awesome. Brain, thank you for joining us once again. Zach, thank you for being here. You are more than just an end friend. All of you.
That's the greatest birthday gift I could ever have.
With us will be end friend. With that being said, I hope you guys had a good night, and I'll see you guys next week. Later.
Good night, kids.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, Zach. Good night, Mr. Brain.
Good night, Jim Bob.